Riyan Portuguez. I'm also known as Your Millenial Psychologist. I'm currently affiliated with Polytechnic University of the Philippines Graduate School. Doon ako nagle-lecture. And I'm also one of the consultant psychologists of Childfam-Possibilities. Currently active member of Psychological Association of the Philippines and one of the parang part ng isang SAG. Active ako sa SAG. I'm the co-chairperson of Miss Beatriz Torre under ng Psychological Association of the Philippines, LGBT Psychology Special Interest Group. I'm also part of the hashtag Mental Health PH and advisor of Mind Nation. So, yon. I'm very honored no, na in-invite mo dito ka.
Thank you so much sa time mo, Rian. Thank you. So, topic natin today, sobrang excited ako. Kasi, first of all, I think this topic is one of the top in the pyramid concerns of my generation now. And also because someone suggested this topic, naka-tackle naman about toxic traits. Kasi I've been dealing with this for the longest time and I hope you could help me, ganyan. So sabi ko, okay, why not, diba? So that's why I invited you to be part of this podcast because I know you're the best person to give us advices or tips on how to handle or more so overcome this situation. Okay, so before anything else, our topic is about toxic traits and toxic people. Question ko sa'yo, ano ba yung own definition mo ng toxic person? Like, kailan mo malalaman na okay, itong taong to, toxic siya for me?
Ako, siguro short definition lang. If it's something na mag-observe ko na it's not this person's yung way ng pag-respond niyan or the way ng pag-react, usually reaction. So, yung way ng pag-react niya, pag-handle niya ng situation, and at the same time, yung impact niya sa akin, nafe-feel ko na hindi siya good for my well-being, feeling ko toxic siya. And yun yung i-assess ko na susunod. Bakit parang iba yung dating niya sa well-being ko? Parang hindi okay. So, pag usually kasi ganun yung pakiramdam ko. Basta pag na-feel na parang iba yung vibe niya, nakakasama siya sa akin, parang baka toxic to. Yan. Yun yung short definition ko lang.
Ako naman, yung definition ko ng toxic person is kagaya mo na yung typical na a person who radiates negative energy. When you surround yourself to this person, parang this person would find a way to intentionally drag you down. May it be your mental health, may it be your emotional health. And how does that person do that? Of course, by maybe bad-mouthing you, gossiping about you, spreading rumors about you, and just really finds a way to drag you down. So I think, feeling ko kapag napapanood tayo ngayon, I feel like yung mga viewers natin, magkakaroon sila agad ng name. Kapag nasabing description natin, meron agad instantly na name silang may isip na okay, may kilala akong ganito. For sure, may isip silang gano'n. Diba?
Siguro dagdag din, no? Yung mga tao na toxic, it's sila din yung mga tao na parang pag nakita nila na nakakaangat ka, parang they are not happy with your success. Hindi sila nakikipag-celebrate. Yung mga ganong klase ng tao. Ang hirap no? Parang they also have this insecurities kasi. Siguro mamaya madidiscuss ko din yung
Yes, looking forward ako dun. Dun sa sinabi natin mga description of being a toxic person, how do we handle this? How do we handle these people?
Ako, to be honest, I've been dealing a lot of toxic people kasi syempre pag nasa social media ka, ang daming ganyan. Pinakamadami social media. May mga naka-work na din ako na toxic individuals. Pero basically, yung way ko lang naman para ma-handle yung ganong klase ng situation kasi it's not really good for my well-being. Parang most of the time, I try to assess the situation kasi sometimes part din nito yung parang you have to assess then yourself na baka ako pala yung toxic, hindi naman tong tao na to. So, pero if ever na consistent sa feedback ng ibang tao, tapos alam mo naman din sa sarili mo na wala ka talagang ginagawang masama. So, more likely siya talaga yung may kasalanan, siya talaga yung toxic. So, usually pag ganyan, sure na ako kunwaring toxic siya, I isolate myself doon sa situation. Kasi ang toxic na individual, naghahanap sila ng kahit na anong paraan para kainisan ka or mahila ka. So, know that you are not the problem. So, you have to isolate yourself with that person na it's not really you, no? But it's them na pinoproject nila yung issues nila sa'yo. So, kailangan mo ma-discern yung part na yon. I-isolate mo yung sarili mo doon sa tao na yon na hindi mo kasalanan, na wala ka talagang ginagawang masama. So, pag nalaman mo yan, somehow, mababawasan din yung distress na yon. And then, papasok din dito yung part na ako, ginagawa ko na, is it really worth my time? May ganun akong moment eh. So, parang pag hindi naman, edi, okay, sige, pwede ko naman palipasin. Pero, kailangan mo din ma-assess yung situation na kailan mo siya papalipasin, kailan din naman na hindi. Kasi may mga ganun, di ba, na parang minsan papalipasin mo, may times naman hindi. So ako, pag feeling ko talagang na-violate talaga ako, tipong yung personal space ko, vinolate niya, tapos feeling ko, masama talaga yung ginawa niya, kino-confront ko yung isang tao. Pero, ang pag-confront ko sa kanya, based on the situation, hindi yung pag-attack doon sa kanya. So, usually, ginagawa ko, dinidescribe, may sinabi siya, parang sasabihin ko na, ito yung sinabi mo. So, isa-isayin ko point by point yung statement para ma-feel niya kung ano yung impact nun sa akin. So, para malaman niya or maramdaman niya na hindi ko siya pinupuntirya, kundi yung mismong statement niya at ano yung impact nito sa akin. Ang problem lang natin, dahil nga toxic siya, kahit na ganun yung pag-reframe mo ng situation, mapaperceive niya pa rin yun as something na pag-atake sa personalidad niya. And again, basta ginawa mo yung part mo at sinabi mo yun sa kanya, in-exhaust mo talaga yung option para maging aware siya dun sa ginawa niya at hindi pa rin yun nag-work. Again, it's not about you, it's about them. So, yun na yun, mag-concede ka na talaga. Hindi mo na kailangan pang i-please siya or i-prove pa yung sarili mo kasi again, meron lang tayong limited energy at dapat kino-conserve din natin yun at binubuhos na lang doon sa mga mas importanteng bagay. So, ganun lang yung simple sa akin. Pero syempre may mga tips pa tayo dyan.
Yes. I like what you said, especially sa first, one of the traits also ng mga toxic people is that they are close-minded.
Yes.
You know, kapag yung tingin nila is, yung kunyari, pag may ginawa ka, and yung tingin nila sa ginawa mo, mali para sa kanila, parang gagawan nila ng paraan na, hindi, mali ka eh. Like, they don't understand. Yes, they don't try to understand your story, your side. Very close-minded. Diba? And I also like, yes, and I also like your second point. You said na, when someone says something about you, those things or those words do not define the person anymore, but the one who is spreading or the one who is gossiping. You know, it defines his character, it defines his principles, it defines everything about that person. So I like what you said about that. Ako naman, yung pag-handle ko or pag-deal ko ng mga toxic people na ganito, I've read this quote from a book na nabasa ko na, ang tagal-tagal ko nang nabasa. Sabi dito, parang, when a person angers you, or when a person annoys you, or when a person lets you feel, or makes you feel your feelings, frustration, disappointment, it means that that person controls you. I won't let that person control me. Diba?
Yes.
I am the only one who can control me. Other question, Ms. Riyan. What if kapag, kasi, okay, so it's easy to ignore kasi someone who's toxic kapag hindi mo siya nakikita on a daily basis. Kapag, for example, on social media, you can just ignore that person. You can just ignore that person completely by, for example, blocking him or muting that person. But what if that toxic person, you meet that person every day? Like, for example, in school setting, in a work setting, or to some people pa nga, sa mismong family nila. Diba? May toxic na member ng family nila. So how do we deal with that, you know, with that kapag ganun yung situation?
Ako pag ganyan, syempre, sabi ko nga, yun yung tao na sobrang toxic, di ba? Nakakapay ko sa well-being ko. Ang ginagawa ko, tinatry ko i-shift na lang yung focus ko dun sa mga tao na mas importante sa akin. So, hindi lang naman siya yung tao dun sa workplace. Di lang naman siya yung tao dun sa school. Di lang din naman siya yung tao dun sa bahay. So, parang usually, i-focus na lang ako dun sa ibang aspect na makakakuha ako ng social and emotional support. So, kung kunwari ka, work mo siya, tapos nandyan siya, maging civil ka lang. Like, kung meron kayong dapat pag-usapan, makipag-ano ka, sabihin mo yung dapat be professional. Siyempre, gagawa pa rin ng issue, like, sasabi, ay nako, ka-plastikan. Again, you don't need to prove yourself. Kung sinabi niyang plastic ka, kasi minsan, di ba, pag ginagawa natin yun, nagiging civil tayo, it's also a form of maturity. Hindi mo nakasalanan yun. Kasi nagiging mature ka lang sa kanya. Basta yun, focus ka lang doon sa mga tao na nagbibigay sa'yo ng social and emotional support. Ganun ko lang siya talaga ginagawa. Kasi may mga nakatrabaho na din akong ganyan. May mga
Mm-mm.
times pa nga ginagawa ko dati na hindi ako aware pala na naiinis siya sa akin, tapos salamat ko lang sa isang tao. Trinay ko minsan, nag-hello ako sa kanya, "Hi!" Sigaw na ako sa kanya, "Hi, good morning." Tapos alam mo yun, pero yung ginawa ko, pumasok talaga ako dun sa sa room. Tapos trinay ko
Oo.
talaga, hinawakan ko pa talaga siya sa balikat, sabi ko, yan talaga siguro, ito masasabi natin to ka-plastikan to. Dati
Ay, okay.
kasi gusto ko lang ma-check kung talagang naiinis ba talaga siya sa akin. Kasi
Oo,
makikita mo
oo.
naman sa facial expression niya,
Mm,
eh.
mm,
Just to
mm.
check lang. Mahilig pa naman ako sa ganun, just to check lang. Kasi di naman
Mm.
ako pwede din maniniwala kaagad sa sasabihin ng iba na sinabi sa akin na may ganito sa'yo. So, maniniwala ba ako doon kaagad? So, I have to check din. Kasi para lang malaman ko kung totoo nga ba. So, ginawa ko yun, "Hi," ganyan. Sabi ko sa kanya, "Kamusta na?" Tapos hinawakan ko sa balikat. Tapos nakita ko yung itsura niya, yung pagkakasmile niya sa akin, parang alam yung parang hindi mo maintindihan. Sabi ko,
Oo, oo.
okay. Parang somehow meron, may feeling
May
nga na baka
tension.
may tension. So, parang totoo. Sa isip ko na lang, ano kaya problema nitong tao na 'to? Wala naman akong ginagawang masama sa kanya. Bakit
Oo, oo.
bakit ga pero sa isip ko, again, it's not something about me. Baka may issue 'tong
Yes.
tao na 'to na di ko alam kung ano yon. So, ayoko nang alamin pa dahil at least, 'di ba, ayokong maapektuhan yung well-being ko. So, yun. Pero minsan yan, ginawa ko din
Really.
yun minsan, nakakatawa. Yun lang.
Oh, to correct, tama yung sinabi mo na, if in a work setting or in a classroom setting, just be respectful to each other. Doesn't necessarily need na kailangan nyo talaga i-confront yung tension nyo sa isa't isa. As long as you're professional and you're respectful to each other, then wala dapat di ba, wala dapat anything doon. What is more wrong about that is that they are happy doing it. Alam mo, they are
Yes.
happy spreading or judging you. They are happy bringing you down. Parang
Yes.
it satisfies talaga their ego. It satisfies their esteem.
Kasi
And
Kasi that's how they elevate themselves, eh. Kasi nga
yes.
yun nga, eh, they have inferiority complex. And they
Yes.
perceive you as they perceive you as someone na okay siya, at ayaw niya ma-recognize yun na okay ka. Kaya gagawin nila,
Mm-mm.
kasi nga kino-compare niya sarili niya sa'yo, eh. Gagawin niya na maghahanap siya ng other way para pull down ka, para ma-elevate niya sarili niya. Not knowing na yung ginagawa niya, maladaptive way, 'di ba? Maladaptive way.
Correct.
And hopefully
Correct.
parang yung mga tao, alam din nila, yung mga tao nakikinig ngayon, sana alam din nila na kung paano ma-distinguish yung toxic na tao at saka hindi porket kunwari nagsasabi isang tao ng ganito, maniniwala ka kaagad. Malalaman mo naman sa content kasi nung sinasabi ng tao kung totoo o hindi, eh. If it's something na more lagi na lang niyang kino-compare sarili niya sa ibang tao, ma-observe mo naman yun, eh. Sabi, baka toxic 'to. Huwag tayong
Oo, oo.
huwag din tayo yung agree ng agree sa isang tao. We have to check, or we need to assess din kung tama ba yung ginagawa niya. Kung talagang kaibigan ka, no, dapat
Oo, oo.
kino-correct mo din yung kaibigan mo, no, kasi
Oo,
nakakasakit
oo.
na.
Oo,
Ayun
oo.
lang.
And stories, just like people, have layers. So, 'di ba, there will always be two sides of stories. And hindi ka dapat, alam mo yun, na magko-conclude agad sa perception mo sa isang tao to based sa isang perspective lang. Kasi yung
Yes.
perspective ng tao na yun, based lang sa lens niya eh. Based lang
Yeah.
sa gusto niyang tingin sa'yo, gusto niyang pagtingin sa'yo. So you also have to, be knowledgeable about that person first before you say things that you might regret, in the
Yes.
future. So
Siguro kasi
for the
millennial thing. Ay,
yes,
sorry.
millennial thing.
Millennial thing.
Okay, so for the next question is, what if, kunyari, the person is already aware that she is possessing or he is possessing toxic traits. And for our example of toxic traits would be comparing yourself to other people, trying to please other people, trying to please everyone. So what if you're aware of this already? How do you stop that?
Okay. So, ikaw na 'to, yung individual mismo na parang
Oo.
meron siyang toxic traits.
Oo.
I think it's also important na maging patient ka sa sarili mo. So, be patient with yourself. Kasi yun nga, parang it takes maturity to determine if you're toxic or not.
Yes.
And when you say mature, syempre, ikaw ay responsible with your actions, di ba? Kaya nga, may difference tayo sa word na response tsaka dun sa reaction. Kasi when you say response or nagre-respond ka, parang it takes conscious effort to assess the situation. Parang tatanungin mo yung sarili mo, am I going to say this? Is it really worth it? ito bang sasabihin ko, is it out of concern or out of hate? Is it really worth my time? 'Di ba? Useful ba 'to kung sasabihin ko siya? Ganun yung pag-respond. Parang, kaya nga usually na-associate natin yung response, 'di ba? Or yung respond dun sa responsibility. Kasi you're responsible with your action. It's the ability of that person to respond. 'Di ba? Or yun, respond sa situation na yun. So, responsibility, response. Ganun siya parati ina-associate. Pero pag react, usually, it's out of impulse eh. Hindi siya well thought, kaya marami ditong error. Ayan. So, kaya as much as possible, maging mature tayo. Dapat alam natin kung tayo ba ay magre-respond or magre-react. So, hopefully, we choose yung part ng response or respond, no? Kasi may responsibility siya. And also, I think it's important na mag-adhere tayo dun sa here and now. Meaning, nandito tayo sa present moment. Ano ba yung nangyayari ngayon? Kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon, i-describe mo siya. Yun lang, i-describe mo lang yung situation, tanggapin mo siya as it is. Huwag tayo magjo-jump dun sa conclusion kagad na ito yung ibig niyang sabihin. Eh, hindi mo naman alam, di ba? So parang, if it's something na hindi malinaw, you have to clarify yung isang bagay na nalaman mo dun sa isang tao. Para malaman mo kung ano ba yung ibig niyang sabihin doon. Hindi mo magjo-jump ka kagad sa conclusion tapos magagalit ka kaagad. So, adhere doon sa here and now. And yun nga, learn to ask questions para ma-clarify din siya. And also, kung aware ka na toxic ka, make sure na you have this empathy. Have empathy. Meaning you have to place yourself to other person's situation for you to understand the context. Kasi baka mamaya yun nga kulang ka ng empathy, hindi ka ganun ka conscientious dun sa nangyayari. Yun pala kasi lagi kang lagi mo tinitingnan yung situation base lamang sa gusto mong makita. No, hindi mo tinitingnan yun sa na nakikita nila or nararamdaman nila. Kaya have empathy, di ba? So know the context first before you respond. Yun. And also don't take things personally. Kasi like natin, baka yun din yung problem minsan sa'yo, di ba? Baka pinapersonal mo kagad siya. Eh baka naman talaga, nagsishare lang naman yung tao na yun ang gusto niyang sabihin, di ba?
Yes.
So kumbaga, don't take things personally. And then most of the time nga, kapag may nagsabi sa'yo ng ganon, huwag mo iisipin na atake yun sa personality mo. Mas maganda na i-view mo siya as something na based kung ano yung ginawa niya. So, ibig sabihin, kung magre-respond ka halimbawa dun sa tao na yon, mag-respond ka dun sa kung ano yung sabi niya. Kaya, for example ako, nagre-respond ako point by point dun sa sinabi ng isang tao. Para para maging aware din yung tao na yon na nagre-respond ako based dun sa kung ano yung sinabi niya at hindi ito atake sa personality niya.
Yes.
So, mas maganda ganun yung ine-emphasize mo. So, don't take things personally. And then also, try to focus on your progress.
Yes.
Focus on your progress. Be happy with your progress. Celebrate mo kung ano yung progress mo, maliit man yan or hindi. Don't try to compare yourself with anyone kasi iba naman yung experience niya, iba din yung experience mo. Magkakaiba tayo ng time zone. So, dapat yung peg natin, compare yourself to who you were before. Dapat ganun yung idea. Hindi yung i-compare mo yung sarili mo sa ibang tao. Kasi yan yung pinagmumula ng insecurity din eh. Diba? So parang, yun, instead din na ganun yung i-view mo, no? Kasi kung kino-compare mo yung sarili mo kasi hindi maganda, diba? So kung nakikita mo siya nakakaangat, so dito papasok ngayon yung isang tip na be humble. Ganun talaga eh. Diba?
Yes.
Ganun talaga yun eh. There are people who are far better than you. So hindi ka magkakaroon ng bridge or hindi kayo magkakaroon ng friendship or wala kang matututunan kung hihilahin mo yung tao na yun, kung sisiraan mo siya. Dapat, kung nakita mo siya na someone na inspirational or magaling naman talaga siya, i-recognize mo yun, celebrate mo din yung success niya. Gamitin mo siya as someone na may inspire ka. 'Di ba? Kausapin mo siya, hingi ka ng tips, 'di ba? Para may matutunan ka din sa kanya. Maging humble ka na may mga taong mas mahusay sa iyo at hindi naman sila siguro ganoon kadamot para alam mo yun, i-share nila sa iyo yung anong secret nila halimbawa or kung bakit sila successful. I think magiging happy pa sila kasi na-appreciate mo yung meron sila. Know your worth. 'Di ba? Kasi if you know your worth, you don't have to prove something. 'Di ba? Wala kang insecurities kapag ganyan. Kasi alam mo nga yung worth mo, alam mo sila. Alam mo din yung kung ano yung meron sa'yo. And also, when you know your worth, you also love yourself even more. 'Di ba?
Yes.
Mas natututunan mo kasi alam mo yung worth mo, hindi ka nata-threaten din sa kung anong progress ng ibang tao kasi alam mo nga yung worth mo. Kumbaga, tumaas man sila o hindi, yung value mo nababawasan kasi worth it
Mm-mm.
ka. So, ganun yung idea ng ng pagiging worthy. And then yun, as much as possible din, be compassionate with yourself. Huwag masyadong maging harsh sa
Yes.
sarili mo kapag nagkakamali ka, gano'n, no? Kasi, yun nga, usually kaya hindi rin nagiging compassionate yung iba kasi nga nandun yung part ng insecurity. Bakit siya nakakataas? Bakit siya ganina? Again, be compassionate with yourself. Mag-focus ka lang kasi sa kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Little by little naman yung progress na yan.
Yes, thank you so much, Rian. I like what you said about being compassionate. You know, instead of having a toxic trait of, for example, you know that this person is doing more than you or being someone more than you don't try to drag that person down. Instead, be compassionate with that person, be one with that person, and ask for maybe, like what you said, you know, tips on, oh, baka may advice kang ganyan kasi I also plan to pursue this something and you're doing that so well. So what are your tips for me? You know, you don't have to necessarily bring that person down para ikaw yung makaangat, 'di ba? Let's seek to be compassionate with one another so that we could unite rather than divide further, you know, because in our world now masyado na tayong divided, pati ba naman sa mga ganung bagay, 'di ba? We have to
Kailangan
be
natin
united
ng collaboration.
Yes,
Diba?
parang ganito.
Parang ganito.
Collaboration, 'di ba?
Ganyan lang.
Yes.
Ganyan tayo.
And also about you said yung stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop pleasing everyone. Know your worth. You are a unique individual. You have your own fabric of uniqueness. Embrace that. You know, and once you embrace that, that's when you start actually living your life. Diba?
Because dyan din start yung growth. Yung growth, diba?
Oo, yung growth. Kasi kapag ginagaya mo lang yung isang tao, mapapa-question ka, wait, ito ba talaga yung dahilan ba't nandito sa mundong to? Para gayahin siya? Hindi para gawin kung ano talaga yung para sa akin na gagawin ko? Diba?
Kaya importante yan. Ang ganda na sinabi mo, no? About dun sa, ito ba yung parang, yung about sa why? Nakakonect ko sa why. May sinabing ganyan si Nietzsche, sabi niya, he who has a why to live for can bear with almost anyhow. So yung meaning nila, yung why, you have to find that why. Kasi yun nga, pag may why ka, nagagawa mo yung mga bagay na gusto mo. At hindi mo na kailangan pang tingnan yung ginagawa ng ibang tao. Hindi ka naman pinanganak ng CCTV. Ano ba yan?
Diba? Totoo yun.
Ginagawa nila, diba?
Oo.
Nakakapangit yung pagiging toxic, wow.
Totoo, nakaka-haggard. Kaya itigil nyo na yan.
Diba? Kasi, diba, pag nagpo-focus ka sa ibang tao, diba, minsan, baka hindi ka na nakakaligo, hindi ka na nakakatulog, sarap.
Napabayaan mo yung sarili mo kasi masyado kang focus sa isang tao. Oo, diba? Grabe.
Focus on yourself, guys. Ayan.
Yes. Focus on you, know your worth. Siguro, Rian, last na sasabihin ko before your last message, I just also want to tell those people who are dealing with toxic people because they know that this person is spreading rumors about them or this toxic person is bad-mouthing them or gossiping about them and it's affecting them mentally and emotionally. I just want to say that we have to understand that people will always have their own judgments. People will always have their perspectives, their own perspectives. People will always judge you based on their own lenses, you know. And you know, people always have to say things. People always have people always have to say things about you because that's just the reality. We have to deal with that. Diba? Reality ngayon, kahit anong the smallest of things that you do, people will always say things about you. People will always judge that. People will always have something to say about that. But I think as long as you know the truth in your heart and you are genuine with who you are, genuine with who you are today, and if you're becoming a better version of yourself, correcting all the bad things you've done wrong in the past, then what people say about you shouldn't matter at all. Diba?
Yes.
Yes.
Kaya yan.
Yes.
Very interesting. Yung pinakamaganda na yun, no? Na
Yes.
na-capture mo na yung dapat din na masabi din ng iba. Na dapat malaman ng iba na nagsa-struggle din with this kind of situation.
Yes. And also, we have to remember na yung mga tao na ganyan, this quote is very memorable. People who mind don't matter. And people who matter don't mind.
Yes.
Diba?
Yun nga,
So,
yun, very interesting siya. Yan yun. Kasi yun nga, kapag talagang ayaw sa'yo, talagang gagawa sila ng paraan na ayawan ka. Pero
totoo.
ikaw, kung doon sa tao na yun talaga mahalaga ka, kahit nagkakaroon ka ng mistake, they already accept you for who you are. Diba?
Yes.
Unconditionally, no? Walang kahit
Yes.
na anong conditions yon. So, kaya yun nga, we need to conserve our energy. Focus on the things that really matter. Yun.
Yes. Thank you, Rian. Siguro last message to everyone who's watching this.
So yun, mga best. Hi, ayan. All of these characteristics na na-mention namin kanina, it really takes some time to achieve, no, para maging
Yes.
mature. So you have to be patient and be compassionate din sa kung ano yung progress mo. Basta always remember, choose your battles. May mga bagay kasi na hindi naman talaga worth it ipaglaban or kailangan mo pang i-prove, diba? Imagine, kung lahat ng successful individual, ifo-focus niya yung lahat ng binabato sa kanya, paano siya mag-grow? Diba? Kung
Yes.
mag-stop siya sa lahat ng yon. So, focus on
Yes.
those things that really matter. Diba? You have to choose your battles. Kasi yun nga, i-conserve natin syempre din kahit paano yung energy natin dun sa mga mahalagang bagay na makakatulong sa well-being natin at makakatulong dun sa growth natin. So, you have to take care of yourself. You have to mind your well-being. And yes, it's okay to take a pause kung sakali na sobrang stressful na talaga ng situation. It's also okay to seek help kung talagang gulong-gulo ka na. Yun yung role ng mga mental health professional. Sabi nga namin, it's okay na maging preventive tayo kaysa pa ma-develop yung mental health problem. So, kung hindi mo na talaga kaya, okay lang din talaga na mag-seek tayo ng help. Huwag mo nang palalain din. Ayun, also, don't forget na establish mo talaga yung social and emotional support kasi malaking help talaga ng mga friends and loved ones mo para maging okay ka. Ayan.
Yes.
So, yun lang.
Thank you, Rian.